Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. I am a Solid Blue Sister, and this is my turn to talk. Hey, Grid, how are you? How are you? You are definitely number one, Ninja Bunny. Dang, Grid, you were like on it. As soon as I hit that start, you were like, boom, there. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome. Today is the last day of May 2022. Wow, this year is just going by so fast, so fast. Hey Frankie, how are you? Ziller, welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody's on time. I'm always the one late, huh? Oh boy. Welcome, welcome. And to anyone over on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to stop the music and let's get started. Welcome, Mafioso, welcome, which I think is, I forgot. Sorry, guys. Mafioso. Oh boy. Let's see. No, that's not Lou Rock. Well, if it is, welcome, welcome. If you change your name. Okay, so anyway, welcome everyone. Power Girl, Ziller, Frankie, Ninja Bunny, and Grid. Okay, so today I want to talk about, seriously, do you have a life? Can you function without social media? Do you have a life outside of your mobile device? And, you know, again, I'm a people watcher, and social media has just changed the way we see things, the way we do things. Do people have friends anymore? And when I say friends, I'm talking about, do you all, hang out and say, hey, you want to go to lunch? You want to hang out? You want to go to the club? If you go to the club, haven't been in a club in years, but just go out with your buddies. Do people do that anymore? Because we're so connected to social media. And I've heard some people say, hello, Heiko, welcome. I've heard some people say that they have friends on social media. They're closer to people on social media than they are with their real life friends. And my question is that really true? Is that really true? Or is it the fact that you're saying things to people, for some of us, that you've never seen, you've never met? You may talk on the phone, you may chat with each other, but are you replacing this relationship with where you can actually touch someone? And I'm not even talking about, if you video chat or something like that. I'm talking about if you're constantly texting, or like if you come on the Podbean, or you're on TikTok or whatever, and you form these relationships. Are they real relationships? Or are they just, relationships that make you feel more at ease? Because when you're just a voice over the phone, or I'm sorry, when you're just a, well, yeah, I will say that. If you're just a voice over the phone, or you're just typing something, into Twitter, and you're going back and forth with each other on the messaging, portion of the platform. Do you really know these people? I mean, do you really know who they are? But at the same time, you can say, well, I have friends that I may not really know. But what's the difference between actually going out and having lunch or dinner with someone or just hanging out with them for the day as opposed to texting someone consistently throughout the day and you're calling them your friend. And I say that because, there have been people who have never met me, um, maybe have only seen me one time, but they're calling me their bestie. And I'm like, I don't know you, you know? But there are other people that you get to know where you are on video with them or you're talking to them, whatever. And you do get to know them and you can form a relationship. But for people who just constantly have their mobile device for everything, you're watching the news, you're watching, a TV show, you're watching a movie, whatever, your mobile phone is never like 2 feet from you. You go take a bath or you're in the shower, you take your phone with you, which I think is crazy, but people do, and for me, it's like, and this is just me. If I go into the bathroom to take a shower, whatever, my phone is staying in the bedroom because why do I need my phone in the bathroom? If the phone rings and if you're taking a shower, I mean, I'm not going to be one of those people who are going to break my neck trying to get out of the shower to answer the phone. I'm not going to do it. At what point do you just put down social media and just say, I need to take a break. I'm going to go outside. I mean, you see, when I'm out walking my dog, yes, I have my phone, um, but I'm not on it. My phone is in my pocket, mostly for an emergency if something were to happen while I'm out. But I'm out enjoying the walk. I'm out, just my time to think. When I'm out walking my dogs, whatever, that's my time to just be in my own head and I can think and just calm down and just take a break, and just see the world that is going on, you know, um, looking at the flowers, looking at, people or whatever. But how many people actually put down their phone? You know, um, you have some families who do sit down at the table to eat dinner, but they're not together because somebody's on their phone. It's usually everybody's on their phone. I have a friend that I stopped going out to lunch with her because every time we went out to lunch, she's on her phone. I'm like, well, did you ask me to go out to lunch with you so I can watch you on your phone? I don't go out with her anymore. You know, when I go out with people, I want to engage with you. I don't want to see you sitting there on your phone. So, what do you guys think? Let's see. Mafioso says, I don't have it in years, maybe this summer. Okay, I need to back up because I'm missing some stuff. Zilla wants to come up. Okay, and while Zilla's coming up, I am going to read some more of these questions. Okay, Grit said, I get told all the time I'm on my phone too much, or I don't have it in years, maybe this summer. Ninja Bunny says, I'm told I'm on my phone too much, but I have people in my life I met in real life from social media. Okay. Um, I like being a homebody. Mafia also says I respect most people on here for the most part. Okay. Um, Solid, you're my best vibing friend. And Grit, I appreciate all the support because, dude, you are supporting me across all channels. So thank you. Okay. I've just learned to turn my phone off at night. Okay. Grit says, I'm only on my phone a lot because I have so much time on my hands. I don't know too many people here. Okay. So, Grit, I'm sorry, Ziller, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Solid.
Hey, hey, hey.
How you doing?
I am good. I am good.
Yeah, I still got Grandpa here, and we found the topic very interesting. I agree with you on both sides. Um, also, Yeah, I definitely agree with the one thing that you definitely said. Yeah, once I once at night, I definitely turn my phone off at night because I like to enjoy reading my book. Um, my books that I read. I don't like getting interference, especially when I'm sleeping. I don't like Instagram. I don't like any of that bullshit and all that kind of stuff. But also, Grandpa wanted, if you don't mind, Grandpa wanted to say something too.
Sure. Hello, Grandpa. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I am good. I am good.
Good.
Okay, get to the point, Grandpa.
Hey,
Well,
Ziller, let him take his time. Okay.
okay. Looking at your thing there about do you have a life and all that, and yes, I do have a life and all, and when in my life, I have lots of friends and all, but I'm not
Facebook person.
with your uh, programs and all. All I am is Ziller's grandpa, and I love having him around, and he gets me involved a little bit, but I won't let myself get involved that much. But like I said, yes, I have a life, and it is one that's worth living with and for. And
So, Grandpa, do you get into social media at all?
no, I do not.
Okay. Have you ever been on anything like Twitter or Instagram or TikTok? Has Ziller ever shown you i- um, any of that?
Solid. I showed him Facebook, and he couldn't figure it out, so we cut it off.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad
He
you.
tried.
Well, I'm glad, Grandpa, that you are taking part in my show. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. And now, and there's, you know, I've been listening there a few minutes ago about being on the phone and all this good stuff. Yeah, Zilla gives me a rough time about my phone because I don't turn it off like you're talking about at night and all that, but it, I get along fairly well. I just get too many uh, of the
Spams.
spam
Hmm.
calls, and no, if it wasn't for that, everything would be perfect.
I think we all get spam calls. They drive me crazy. It's always about car
Yeah,
insurance. So yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
you're welcome. We'll talk another time.
Okay. Thank you so much. Zilla, did you want to add anything to what Grandpa said?
No thanks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look at some of these chats. Let's see. Oh, Grid says, go Grandpa. Woohoo.
All right.
Okay, so Grit says my work phone is on 24/7 only because I'm on call 24/7. Now that I understand. And at night, you know how you can put your phone into sleep mode. My phone goes into sleep mode. No one, if anybody calls, they go to voicemail. The only people who can call me are people who I have on the emergency override. So I don't want to hear my phone, even though I'm up very late and I'm doing work, but I don't want to be on my phone. So let me ask you guys. So going away from the phone, let's go to social media. Let's talk about Facebook. And Instagram and TikTok. I'm just now getting my TikTok channel up and running. Mainly because I want to grow my show more. But for Facebook, I have a Facebook, and I've said before, they only have like maybe 31 friends. I've had it for probably about four years, maybe five. And I've never, it's always been like, 20 friends, and you add some more people, whatever. But everyone who's on my Facebook page, um, and I keep my Facebook page separate from my, like, my solid blue page is something I'm just now starting to get up to, but my regular Facebook page, you know, I very rarely go on Facebook anymore. And the people who are on my Facebook page are people who I can actually pick up the phone and call. I can actually call those people. Tullian, welcome. So people who have Facebook and all these other things, and you just, friend, I mean, I don't believe in like following people just to follow them, but especially on Facebook. Um, when people have like 2,000 friends, it's like, do you really have 2,000 quote unquote friends? Or are these followers? There's a difference between a follower and a friend. And when I look at Facebook and I see all these people with all these friends, I'm like, come on now. Can you do you know that person's phone number? Can you actually pick up the phone and call them? Or is this a friend of a friend of a friend who is following you? So once again, how much, Brina, welcome, welcome. So how much do we actually rely on social media for our entertainment, for our connection with other people? Let's see. I think you cannot have 2,000 friends. Heiko, I don't think you can have 2,000 friends. And again, when I say friends, I'm talking about people who they say, "Hey, what's up?" They know who you are. They know who your brother or sister is. They know your mama and daddy. I mean, they are your friends. If you want to go to the movies, I was talking, Balram and I did it. We recorded a show with Saba earlier, and we were talking about, movies and everything, but in a different way. But when you go to the movies, these are people who can you pick up the phone and call these people, and they will go see a movie with you Saturday. So no, I don't think that you can have 2,000 friends. Welcome Alpha Mike, and welcome Quinn P Cube. Welcome. Zilla, you want to pop in or say something to that?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I've all from elementary to high school and still now I have five. Real. I mean, besides the friends I made through video games and of course here, of course. But like you just said, how many are those actually just people listening to the show, of course, but actual friends, those are followers. Those are not actual friends, of course, but actual friends, five, a
Okay.
handful.
Okay.
But yeah, you got a great point. Yeah, that's how much are those actual friends?
Okay. Now, Mafioso says, I have a handful, if that. Let me go up some more. Alpha Mike says, sorry I'm late, but can't be on Podbean 24/7 because I have a social life. Touche, Alpha, touche. Brina says, I don't have any social media like Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Anyone I care for has my direct contact information. Okay. And I'm not saying that if you do have friends outside of your circle, whatever, you have friends on social media. I mean, I get that. But I guess, growing up, um, I went outside to play. I jumped rope. I played four square. If anybody knows what that is. I mean, I rode my bike. I did not literally come into the house until the street lights came on, because yes, I had one of those mothers. You better be in the house when the street lights come on. But we were outside constantly. Now, you go out, there's no kids out. Everybody is inside playing a video game, or they're on their phones. And you have to look at, is that even healthy? Which I don't think it is. But kids don't go outside anymore. I mean, adults, we don't go outside anymore. Well, I do, but but a lot of people don't. We're so stuck on their phones. And whenever I am, going places, if I'm in the airport and I just sit and I just watch, I'm talking to the person next to me, and it's usually an older person that I'm talking to, and we'll sit there and talk the whole time until it's time, for the plane to leave, whatever. But everybody is on their phone. The first thing people do if they are having to, catch another flight, everybody runs to see who can find the outlet to charge their phone. But no one is just sitting down and just talking anymore or just reading a book. And when I say read a book, I mean a book. I don't mean listening to audio or what is it? Audible, whatever, or you're reading a book on your iPad, but you're actually opening up a book. Go to the library, read a book. I get my library card renewed every year because I'm always, yes, I still check out books, and our kids are not learning how to do any of that, so again, that's why I say, do you have a life? Let's see. Let's see. Alpha says, I won't see y'all for a week. Are you going somewhere, Alpha Mike? Brina says, I guess the only social media I have would be Podbean, Discord, and Telegram, if that's considered social media. Yeah, I would consider. I just got on Discord again. I'm trying to promote my show. Bob got me on to Telegram. The two of us, we go back and forth. And it's a way, that we can call each other and talk about the show and other things or what have you. But yeah, I mean, okay. Let's see, too many couch potatoes staring at social media. Yes. The true today's millennials are glued to their technology. But you know what, Grit? I think that baby boomers, I think we're probably not as glued as younger people, but I think that everybody has an issue with social media. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have an issue with social media. If it's not social media, they're on a video game. Okay, Alpha Mike says, yes, later tonight I'm flying to Kyoto, Japan. Oh, nice. For vacation. I'm really excited. If I come on Popping, I'll be 5 p.m. the next day. I'll be listening to you from the future. Thank you. Thank you. And have a safe trip. I'm sure that's going to be a wonderful trip. And be safe. Brina says, it is fun to interact, but it does go too far. Sometimes easy for some people to get sucked in and have it take over their entire day. Yes. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I think about 2 weeks ago, we were talking about, being a couch potato and what have you, and, a waste of a day or whatever. So do you guys equate, and I'm gonna put Bob on the spot for this. If you want to come on, you can come on. If not, that's fine. But um, do you all think that being on social media so much is the same thing as sitting around in your house on the sofa all day long? Is that the same thing? So, as people say, if you're sitting around all day on the sofa, you aren't doing anything. So if you're on your phone all the time, is that the same thing? Are you being productive if you're constantly
Well,
on your phone? Ziller?
well, let me ask you a question, so I want to go a little bit more in depth with the what you just asked. Are you are you doing something productive on the phone?
Well, well, if you're doing something productive on the phone, then I guess it would be that you're not
I mean, because
wasting time. I mean,
let me ask you a question. So, I mean, because I play chess on my phone sometimes, right?
mhm.
So if I'm playing chess, I am working my mind,
You
and
are. Mhm.
so but if I'm doing the same thing by just sitting on the couch for 24 hours and I am playing chess and I'm working my mind with playing chess master for 24 hours, equivalent to sitting on the couch for 24 hours. No, I am not lazy. I'm being a lazy couch potato, but maybe in 24 hours I am going to be able to be a little bit better at chess, and my mind's going to be working too as well.
No, I mean,
So
and you make a great point. The only reason why I brought up the whole sofa thing is because on one of the shows, I think about 2 weeks ago, we were talking about, you know, wasting time and sitting around on the sofa. So that's why I brought that up. But you do make a good point.
well, no, okay. Well,
No,
I'm just
I mean no, because if you were sitting on the sofa playing chess against someone, say you and your friend next door, whatever, you all are sitting there and you're playing chess, whatever. I don't think that is a waste of time, because you are, like you said, you are doing something, and your mind is getting exercise. You're exercising those brain muscles or cells or whatever you
yeah, they're
you want to
working.
call it. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Hi.
Hey again.
Um, I've been listening on and off. I've been eating food and then I made myself a cup of tea. So forgive me for. Is there an in particular question, or do you want my uh, opinion on the?
Well, I wanted your opinion, and you're just a little bit faint. I just wanted your opinion on, when we remember a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about people who sit around on the sofa, and that's wasting time, and blah blah blah. Do you think that being on social media, if you're constantly on your phone, is the same thing as just sitting around on the sofa for 24 hours?
Um, yeah, I mean the productivity levels are zero, so they are probably the same. I caught the tail end of what Ziller said there with the chess, and that would be my only sticking up for people being on their phone. And I do this, and I kind of justify it where when I'm on my phone, a lot of the time I'm researching or being productive. I'm doing things podcast wise, or I'm reading articles, or I'm watching videos for research. So I feel that I'm excused that way, but I do also get stuck down these rabbit holes of watching cat videos or dog videos, and we all need that now and
Yeah.
again. So, but yeah, your analogy there, well, your example there, I would say, yeah, they're pretty similar because there's no productivity going on.
Okay. All right. Well, and I am with you on. I don't watch the cat videos, but I do watch the YouTube dog ones where they're going to save a dog or something, because I love dogs. That's one reason why I have three. But yeah. Grid, welcome.
Hey everyone.
Hey. So what's up?
Just chilling, listening to you guys.
So you want to add anything to the conversation?
Uh, yeah, well, I'll say that only because I stay in a newish town that I don't know too many people socially, so I tend to spend a lot of time on my phone, like on social media, and a lot of the time also it's to stay in contact with my family, overseas. Uh, but otherwise, yeah, I do tend to get stuck in those rabbit holes, especially with my daughter, because she loves YouTube, and I'm forced to watch all her little funny videos that she finds. Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, so Grid, let me ask you: do you ever limit how much time your kids can be on social media?
Uh, my daughter, yes, she's a very outdoor person as well. So um, if it's bad weather outside, they might tend to be a bit more on their phones and stuff. But usually, she's playing with her dog, or we're riding quad bikes outside, or stuff like that. But our son, he's something else. Like, he's glued to his PlayStation um, almost all the time, which is not good.
Okay, all right. So, when my son was growing up, I did not allow him to get on social media at all. He did not get a phone until, and then it was a flip phone until he was 14. I did not get him a smartphone until he was like almost 17. But But today he does not watch TV and he does not go on social. He does not stay on social media a lot, which I'm very blessed that he doesn't. Let's say I just want to read some of these comments. And Mr. B, welcome, and Saba, welcome. And welcome again, because we saw Saba Bonai. We just did an interview with her. Okay, so Sabrina says it's fun to interact, but it does go too far sometime. Okay, I'm sorry, I read that. I got to go up. Okay, so Sabrina says social media is important for when you're trying to network and expand a business. You are absolutely right. I play word search on my phone. Now, see, I don't think that's a waste of time. When you're doing something, with words and stuff, I don't think that's a waste of time, but that's just me. Alpha says searching through someone else's Facebook or looking at things to buy when you have no money is not being productive. And Mafiosa says I work almost every day and then I like to relax after. As I move, I'm launching my business, so I will definitely be busy and have a life all day. Okay. Rena says, I love some good cat and dog videos. Yes. Alpha says, I watch a lot of food reels and survival reels on Instagram, but not all day and night. And Brina says, my son used to watch YouTube videos and other people playing video games. So weird. Heiko, do you have life outside of your mobile device? I would love to answer that question. Oh, thanks. Well, Heiko, if you would like to jump on, you can. And Mafio says, kids are always glued to PlayStation. Alpha says kids today are growing up with technology, but that is going to be essential in their lives. Our time was different since we didn't have all this tech, so we have to go out and explore nature. I disagree with you, Alpha Mike. I understand that technology is coming in and it's a major part of our life, but that doesn't mean that you still can't go outside and play. It still doesn't mean you can't go ride your bike. You need to go out and explore. Rena says, Heiko, yes, I do. Real life is much better. Saba says, or if you're a danger to society. Yes, Mr. B, I am coming. I just need to get through these comments or else they will build up. Okay, Mr. B, so you have the mic. Mr. B, you there? There you are.
Yeah, I
Okay.
almost forgot how to do it. Been off.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a few things to say. Make it short. All my kids have electronics, but they all are being timed on it because I don't want them. We don't want them on it all day. Studies have proven that being on your phone or something like that can really distract you. Like that's why some kids have a problem of concentrating because so much information. Like watching YouTube or especially TikTok. Those videos are so short for a reason. It's on purpose. That's why some kids have trouble sitting down in class. So I'm not saying technology is bad. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is technology can be good or bad. So it depends how you use it. But I think if a parent allows their child to do whatever they want on it, I wouldn't suggest that because it's too much information. The child brain is still developing, and that's why rules are important.
Okay. All right. So in terms of age, how much time do you think a child under the age of 17 and down should spend on the internet?
Well, mine seeing not their homework. Okay, so let's say that doesn't count. But as far as like for enjoyment, I think it should just matter. I mean, it should just depend on the parent. But I would say this is what I do. We do 2 hours. And sometimes you might do a little bit more. Like
So
say on a Saturday.
2 hours per child.
I would say something because the reason is this: if the child says, "Well, I can't live without my internet," then they're actually what you call it addicted to it, and that's not good. So you should be able to use your imagination. You should be able to figure out things on your own up to a point. So technology shouldn't be used as a crutch.
Okay. All right.
It
Now,
should be used as a tool. But that's my opinion.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
no, and that's good, but even for schoolwork, I never allowed my son to, unless it was something specific that he had to do in
Hmm.
terms of schoolwork. You pull out the dictionary. You need to look up a word. You're not going to the internet. You're going to look it up in the dictionary, because number one, it enhances your spelling and your reading, whatever. You are not going to run to the internet to do your homework. You're going to look it up in a book. You have a textbook.
Hmm.
You are going to look it up. But
Well, our school, we don't have that option because pretty much everything's online. But I understand what you're saying.
and I think that
Yeah.
that's one thing that to me is detrimental to children, is putting
Hmm.
everything online, because it's like, as it is, a lot of kids are growing up in a society where they don't even know what a landline phone is. Some of them don't even know what a payphone is. Hell, some adults don't even know what a payphone is.
Well, actually, New York, I think it was New York, they just took down the last payphone.
Which I think is a
That's it.
mistake, because everyone
Yeah,
does not have access to a phone. Everyone
yeah.
cannot afford a cell phone, even if it's just a you know
That
burner
was a long.
phone. But to me, you need those pay phones. And there were, I mean, I remember when my mother would say, I always have, have a dime,
Some
and then it was
change.
a quarter, because I always have that change for the
Right.
payphone if there's an emergency. So
Emergency.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know, but this is the society that we are living in.
Well,
So
just like kind of like the Amish, they some of them believe that technology is evil. So some people might think, we're slow. Like, oh, y'all just being too serious and everything.
mhm.
So it depends on how you look at it. But
True.
but I'm
True.
with you though up to a point because why would it hurt to have a payphone?
Right. And then for the Amish, I mean, I know some of them, they do get into some tech stuff, but for the Amish, for the
So
ones that don't have phones and stuff, I think that at least one or two people in the area in your Amish group should have a phone, because if it's an emergency,
mhm.
just mainly for that. I don't want to
I'll
have
tell
to
you what, they
get
make
on
some
a
good donuts. I'll tell you that.
I have had Amish food, and it is very good. So I'm going to read some more of these comments. Brennan says kids have exposure way too early. Mafiosa says 2 hours max. Okay. Alpha says they're teaching calculus in the second grade. We weren't even learning fractions yet in second grade. Mike, I am with you. I am with you. Okay, Ziller, hold on. Let me just go through some of these comments. The internet is a great place to manipulate people. Yes, you guys gonna have to check out this interview we did with Saba when we drop it. Let's see. Alpha Mike says they're gonna be cutting us off from a lot soon. Just watch. We are cattle. Can I jump in for a quick comment? Hold on. Hold on. Me too. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, Godzilla next day in order. Okay. I dated an Amish lady. Okay. If I don't get through these comments, they will build up. So, Ziller.
Here's when you guys said 2 hours. Like coming back to the couch thing, I grew up. I was a single child, but coming back, like I said with the chess, I was on the 2 hours thing. What I was doing chess to get, I have brain damage, like I've told you before, Solid Blue, to actually get better at math and all kinds of language arts things. I was doing stuff on the internet to actually get better. I went to websites to get better at language arts because people didn't want to help me with my disability. So the internet would help me get better at that situation. So let me ask you, Solid Blue, would you take that 2 hours and switch that to 4 hours? Let me ask you that question.
Well,
Since the internet,
well, your situation, I mean, if you have a situation where you're on social media because it helps you, um, then no, I
yeah,
don't
that's
think.
the only reason.
Right, right. I'm so no, I don't think that you should say two, three, four, whatever. No. But I'm saying if your kids are just on it just to surf the web and you know, um, I mean, it's like okay, so do you have a specific purpose while you're oh no, I'm just hanging out or
Oh,
just
okay.
surfing or I'm just texting my friends. I mean, like I said, I have been in the car with people where and
Oh,
these are
okay.
mainly and these are young people where you turn around, you look in the back seat and everybody's texting and you're like, well, what are you all doing? Oh, we're talking to each other. They're sitting right next to each other, but they're texting. Now, you can look at it two ways. They don't want the adults to hear what they're saying, and we came out and said, "You all not want us to hear what you're saying." Oh, no, no, this is just what we do. Then when they showed us what they were texting, it's like, "What are you going to do? Nothing." Well, are you going to go see so and so? Maybe. I mean, seriously, you cannot put your phone and we're going somewhere and you all just cannot have a conversation. That's crazy. So, Ba,
Yeah, so I've got a point here that I really want to make, and I promise you I'll pull it back around. But Mr. B brought up a great point there. It's very admirable that you are limiting your children to 2 hours. I think the reason why I think I need to make this point is I made a comment on a show previously a couple of weeks ago about lying to lying to your kids about Santa Claus, and I kind of want to push my point on this with Mr. B. It's like doing not allowing your kids to be on devices all the time. There's a lot of pressure. Probably a lot of people would look at the parents and go, "You're mean. Just let your kid have the phone and play the games and watch YouTube all day." And this is a real problem. And my sister as well. When I go up to visit her and my two nephews who are 7 and 3, the whole time I'm there, they're on YouTube and they're watching people playing computer games or that remember that kid that used to open up gifts and he made a millions. Is it something toys? His name. Um, he would watch him all day, every day if he could, and it's the same kind of thing where if you're doing things like that, you're kind of demonized. And my mind and the way I think, and I know a lot of people on the show are probably like, "What?" with some of the things I come out with, but it's this way of thinking, and I think Mr. B has got a better analogy than the Santa Claus lie, but it's the same thing. We are demonized if we don't follow suit. There's like peer pressure and societal pressure. If you take the iPad away from your kid and you limit it to 2 hours per day, I believe that your kids will grow up and be better human beings, and that's what I promote all the time. My ideas and views are maybe strong for a lot of people, but my end goal is that we would be better as human beings when we grow up, or we would just become better. So I just wanted to use that because that was a great point that Mr. B mentioned.
no, and by I think you're absolutely right because I look at again how much time my son spends on you know social media and just watching TV. It's like next to nothing. He has this really nice TV sitting here, and you know he doesn't use it. And I'm fine. I am fine with that. He's not. I'm just really blessed that his outlet was always art, and
Mhm.
that's what he likes. That's what he likes to do. But yeah, I'm with you 100%.
I've
So
I've also just remembered another one to add to the cap is remember we did a show and we spoke a little bit about corporal punishment, and I said, you said, do you think I'm a bad mother for spanking my kids?
and
And
you
I
said
said, well, yeah,
yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I remember
Well,
you saying
that's
that
the
on me.
same.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's the same kind of thing. Like I would never in a million years sit in a room and tell my sister that she's a bad mother for allowing her two sons to be on a device for hours upon hours all day every day, because she would be very pissed off at me. But I'm also not saying she's a bad mom, but it's not the ideal, it's not the best in my opinion, and that's how I feel about spanking. I don't think you're a bad mom just because you spank
Even
your
though you
kids.
said it.
Yeah, but I think you could be better. That was a better way of putting it. That's
Mm-hmm.
just a little
Mm-hmm.
insight to how my mind works.
All right. So, Grit, I am coming to you, but I do want to go to Mr. B and ask, do you want to say anything back to what Bob just said? Mr. B? Welcome, Tricks and the Ralph William podcast. Okay, Mr. B is not there. So, Grit, I'm going to go to you.
Yeah, so like, my daughter watches a lot of YouTube, but she, in a way, she kind of researches stuff, she loves sketching and drawing. So she'll watch a couple of videos, see, what people are doing, and then she will practice it. And, she always comes to us and says, look what I've done, or she's got her sketchbook with all these different drawings and stuff, and she gets all these ideas from YouTube. So, in a way, we do kind of allow her too much time on her device, but for her, most of the stuff is kind of productive. She doesn't just sit and watch funny videos and stay glued to her phone. She kind of does things like that. So that's where we kind of allow her a bit of leeway to be on her phone and stuff like that. But for the most time, she's not that bad. Like, it doesn't interest her. It doesn't like consume her, totally. She likes to do stuff outdoors and stuff like that. So we aren't that strict on her for that reason.
Okay. All right. Um,
I'm back. Phone was acting silly.
okay. So hold on, Mr. B. I just want to say, Alpha Mike says to you, I have respect for Amish. They are hard workers. And you told Mike her cooking was delicious soul food. One of my daughters was going to. Oh yeah. Oh no. Cannot give your address to a stranger. Oh, Lord is right. Santa is $1 billion corporation. Yes, it is, Alpha. And Mr. B agrees. Thank you all for liking the show. Alpha Mike says Kim Kardashian's son found his mother's sex tape on his video game platform. Well, what did she think would happen? And you know what? And that is true. That is true. You're absolutely right. Saba says you allow a child to eat candy. That's child abuse. Okay. Then I must have been abused as a child because I ate a lot of candy. Mr. B says, okay, you're here. Okay, hold on. I'm coming to you. Okay, everyone else, thank you so much for liking the show. Okay, so Mr. B, I wanted to ask if you heard what Boss said in response to your previous comment.
Yes, I just like to add what he said about being, conflicted. Some people feel conflicted about they should let their child do what the next door neighbor is doing, and that's not always the best thing. Sometimes you have to make rules, and everybody's not going to follow the rules. But we got to take care of your child's mind, because as a mind is developing, it's very crucial, especially at an early age. Now, I don't think a child should feel that internet is evil, but I think they should just learn to appreciate it. Even I sometimes get lost track. Like I'm supposed to be writing a story, and here I am on Facebook or something looking at the video, and before you know, I'm here like 4 hours just looking at silly videos. So even as adults, it can kind of be hard to adjust our own time as well. It's it's uh, it's made to keep our attention, to keep us away from doing what we can be doing, should be doing. But once again, it can be it's we should look at it as a tool, not the answer.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment.
Uh-huh.
And I'm mainly doing this mainly because I'm thinking about the conversation that Sava and Ba and I had a little over an hour ago. So when you say it's supposed to be used as a tool, don't you think that's what it was supposed to do? When the internet first came out, they was supposed to be this world wide web. We can go here to get information. If you need to find out something about a lion, you can type it in and see what a lion is and what a lion does. But then it changed. So do you think that it started out to be something for information, or do you think it started out to be something that was going to turn into something to try to get into your mind and be the sinister thing?
Well, I think anything that starts that's supposed to be, meant to be, to better someone's life, they will find a way to make it dangerous. So, yeah, I think at first it started to be, just used for communication. But as time goes by, other people got other ideas and can use it for military purposes. And when it first started, I'm pretty sure they wasn't thinking about, oh yeah, military can use it, but they can.
But isn't that with everything, that it seems like that whatever we have, the government can use it in some way?
Well, I heard someone say this once. If you're how can I put it? It was a Batman movie. It pretty much says this: if you live long enough, you become the villain. So yes, I think a lot of things meant to be good could go bad, but vice versa. So it depends. That's why I call it a tool. So it depends on how you use it.
Okay. All right.
Just like you can use technology for people who can't walk or can't speak, doesn't mean it makes it bad when
Mhm.
someone uses it for something totally different. So yeah, I think that's why I call it a tool. You can use it for good or bad.
Okay. Saba says, I'm considering suing my mother for giving me Butterfingers when I was a child. Alpha says, Saba, can I have your Butterfingers instead? Help your children to understand there are a lot of evil people on the internet. That's what Saba wants everyone to know. And Alpha Mike says, laughing my ass off when the internet first came out, people used it to hook up with people in chat rooms. You're absolutely right. I actually met my husband through America Online. Uh, let's see. Thank you guys for liking the show. Oh, yeah. And we all know how testable the military is. Yep. All right. And Frankie, I see you're up here. So I am going to get to your comment. The internet is a big giant net that is gathering us all up for the new world order. And okay, Frankie, did you have a comment? Oh, there you go. She says adults need to limit themselves too. So all right, so that's what for Frankie says. Adults need to limit themselves too. So I'm going to start with Ziller. What do you think about that? Do you think that adults, like Frankie says, adults need to limit themselves on the
Um,
internet or social media?
uh, this is the thing. Like it still goes back. I still go back to the the couch situation. I probably will still go back. It's how, and like Mr. B says, I will agree with him and Ba and probably you as well. It's just how you use it. It is just a gigantic. It's like a gun as well. It's a tool. It's how the person uses it, and you got to and you know, like you said, you use it, and when it comes to nighttime, you don't use it. You gotta be smart with how you use things, and that's all it is. And you know, I don't use the damn thing when it comes to nighttime because I don't want to be bugged. And when I use it, I'm gonna be smart with it, and that's what I gotta say. But yes, Frankie's right. I agree that even adults need to be smart with it. Maybe maybe they do need to limit themselves because maybe it's driving them to chaos sometimes, and they lose themselves in the world. So Frankie, yeah, I sometimes a lot they do lose themselves. So yeah, Frankie, I agree. There you go.
Okay. But I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna ask the same question that Frankie says. Adults need to limit themselves. And Alpha Mike says, I'm gonna include what Alpha Mike says. Imagine the chaos if they shut down the internet. So and Alpha Mike says, we live in a dome, people. We're screwed no matter what. And Saba says, I can't hear or see anyone. Saba, let's see, check your internet. Can the rest of you guys hear? Because Saba was having some problems earlier, so I'm assuming the rest of you guys can hear.
Yeah, I can see and hear you guys.
I think she's just having some issues. So, Ba, so what do you think? Let me just read what Mr. B says real quick. Mike, if the World Wide Web went out, people would be forced to make conversation with neighbors and work together. Yeah. Then Saba, okay, you'll be all right with the internet. The Secret Service is planning on giving the government access to shut down the internet, which means they have something planned. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, you guys can hear. Okay, so, Ba, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what do you think about what Alpha Mike said and what Frankie said? Frankie said that adults need to limit themselves also, and Mike said that there would be chaos. But Mr. B says that people would be forced to talk to their neighbors and basically talk to people. So, do you think there would be chaos? And what do you think about what Frankie said?
Oh yeah, big time. Before we ended the show, well, just after we ended the show with Sava, me and you stayed on, and I thought tonight's topic was very appropriate for me because I just downloaded TikTok and I said I never would, and I did. We got it for our show, Friendly Differences.
Right.
Another plug there. And I am just shocked. Like, if I could send you some of the audio notes that I've been sending my friends up in my hometown, and I've been doing it in a comedic way, but I'm just stunned at, like, you go into the live on TikTok and all you see is, I mean, I'm not hating on women at all, but because there's men that do this as well, but literally just women sat on their bed with their cleavage there, on their phones, texting other people, and occasionally looking up at the chat, reading a few comments, and people are sending in comments, sending in money or whatever it is, gifts, and then you'll skip to the next one, and it's someone putting on their makeup whilst talking to their phone, people they don't even know. There's people who record themselves sleeping, and I'm just speechless. I thought I'd seen it all, but no. So it's just, and you know something, to come down onto a better level, it's sad. It's so sad. And I have a friend who I think about when I think of these kind of things, who is not comfortable in his own skin. He's single and he always has to be talking to someone. He's always on his phone. He's always phoning someone or going round to their house to visit, because he can't be in his own house, in his own skin, on his own. Like, and that's a real issue that people are having, is not being in love with themselves, not being comfortable in silence or just on their own. They always have to be interacting. And that's what social media has done to people. So to me, I think if the internet did go down tomorrow, I think suicide rates would go through the roof. And I always thought that, for example, and I'm not bringing up I don't want to change the subject at all, but if COVID, how they were coercing people to take the vaccine, so they did, you can't go into a gym, you can't go into a cafe, you can't fly. See, if they had said you can't use Facebook unless you're vaccinated, there would be, they would have got a better success rate, in my opinion. Because when you get people addicted to social media as much as they have, where like, oh, I've only got 20 likes on my latest selfie, and their day's ruined, they're literally upset and crying, then that's the power that social media has done and the effect that it's put on people. So yeah, rant over.
And no, you make a good point about the whole vax thing, that if they had said you can't, we're going to turn off your internet if you don't get vax. No, you're absolutely right, because and that just shows how much people do rely on social media. I am coming to you next, Grid. I just got to get through some of these comments. Sava says, life without the internet, or I'm putting in the life part. She says without internet. You traitor. I don't know what Sava means by that, but I'm sure she'll tell you. Welcome, Shy Lady and Free Conversation Lovers. Let's see. Heiko says the Alpha reminds me before I was addicted to the internet. Reason. Okay, right. Execute. I'm not sure what that means. SMDH. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm old school. I don't know some of these acronyms. Sorry. Heiko's laughing. Shy Lady says, "Hi everyone. I don't do social media in the sense of Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, but I read lots of articles online. I need to monitor my time better." Yes, Shy Lady does, and she sends those articles to me. Mr. B says, Web3 will not share your personal information like the internet we are using now. Okay, I did not know what Web3 was. Okay, the sleeping gig is clever. Okay, don't text and walk. Watch where you're going, because I will push you out of my way. Alpha Mike, you know what? The people who are walking across the street and you're driving and they're not looking up, that oh, yeah. Yeah, that pisses me off. Shy Lady, I totally agree with Ba. SM has social media has gotten really ridiculous. Mafioso says, yeah, like trying to steal our gun rights so we can't fight back. Mr. B says, right, bike, text, dangerous activity. Yes, it is. Alpha Mike says, social media confuses people. So much info out there. How do you know what is really true until you figure it out yourself? Okay, Charlie says, shaking my damn head. And okay, you guys, thank you for sharing and liking the show. So, Grid. You have the mic.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, like, my partner, she complains to me all the time that I'm always on my phone and stuff. But I mean, we both have a lot of spare time in our day. With our work and stuff, our schedules aren't that busy, so we do find that we, are at home a lot. And I mean, there's only so much I guess you can talk to your partner about. If you're around them 24/7. Uh, so I do, I jump on my phone, or I'm on Podbean, and or I play my little game, Clash of Clans on my phone, and then she moans at me because I'm not talking to her. But I don't know. I can only like tell her so much what's happening in the day if I'm around her more than I am away from her. So I agree. I need to limit my time, but what else do you do?
Okay. All right, Mr. B.
Yes. Are we talking about how to manage your time better, or
You can talk about whatever you want, anything that you have said or you have heard, or any comment you want to bring up,
oh,
or you want to push
okay.
back or anybody, or
I'm gonna just listen. I guess the time thing. I guess it depends on how much you want to do something. Like, if you don't make time, you never have time. So it's so easy to make excuses. So sometimes you're gonna just have to take the bullet and just really make yourself do stuff.
so
And,
okay. So, Mr. B, let me ask you this: if you had your choice
mhm.
of either staying at home on a nice day and you're with your daughter, son, and you all are going through YouTube or playing some games on the internet, or actually getting out and riding your bike or taking a walk, which one would you opt to do?
We go camping every now and then, so
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
I take nature. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's all I want to know, that you are getting out and about. Okay, Frankie, did you see? Did she have anything else in here? No. So I am going to go to Sava. Sava,
Hello.
hello again.
So I don't always scheme about taking advantage of people, but when I do, it's something as absurd as getting paid while you sleep. Now, I am intrigued by this. Um, I am actually, for the first time, considering crossing over to the dark side and downloading TikTok just so I can do that.
You know, Sava, um, I have had a TikTok account for probably about a year, and I never did anything with it. But what's interesting is people followed me, and the same with Insta. I posted 3 videos that I forwarded from TikTok onto Insta, and but I have people who follow me, and I know that they follow me mainly because of Podbean. But I'm doing it to grow my show. I want
Right,
to
right.
grow my show. But
Yeah.
Ba
Excuse me.
is right. When I sat and I actually, this past week, and I sat and I was looking at some of the videos, people are literally, like he said, people are asleep. People are watching their children, take 3 steps, and they're like, oh look, and you see that these people have like 50,000 people who are following them, or
So
their dog did a backflip and they have like 200,000 people that are following them. And I'm like, I just want to get some good content, and I'm just
are you
happy that people are even just watching what I'm putting up there.
are you aware of click farms?
I'm sorry, am I aware of what?
Click farms.
Click farms. I don't, what is that, with a whole bunch of people just sit there and click on stuff? I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
they get
Okay.
paid. So they sit at a desk and there's a bunch of mobile phones like on this rack in front of them. And people can actually, buy into this on their accounts like Instagram, TikTok, and other platforms. And they pay for what they call real likes and follows. And people, these workers go and sit at this desk and they just like and follow, maybe even comment, and that is their job to do that. It's not real. A lot of it is not real. And also, apps are designed to make you stay there and interface with it for as long as possible, because the longer you're there, the more data it collects, and they sell the data to the big corporations.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, every time you go into the market, and if you use your shopping cart to get that, 10% or 20% off, is going into a
And
database,
well,
and yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
they're also looking through your cameras. They're
Hmm.
looking at your stuff. They're looking at your face. They're studying you. Um, and they're tracking you where you go after that you're on their site or their app. Um and 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 if you don't believe me, just read the policies and look at the cookie policies and what they do with the cookies and all that.
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. Even though this is not going to prevent everything, my phone is so in. I have it encoded, locked down, whatever. Even though I know that people, if the government really wanted to, they could still do it. But I have my phone so encrypted. Same thing with my iPad. All of the computers in the house, everything. I cover my camera, my lenses,
Solid.
everything, because I know that they can.
Solid. Well, yes, yeah. So I'm pretty sure they've thought of everything already,
Hmm.
and
Of
and
course.
and and I don't know what gives anybody the impression that no matter what they do online, um, as far as protecting themselves, I don't know what gives anybody the impression that they're actually safe
No,
and
and
private.
and I you are that's why I said, even though I know That if someone really wants to hack into your system or your life, they can. But I'm
They
just
can check
saying
your heart rate.
there's nothing wrong with having
They
that
can
extra protection.
manipulate your nervous system. um, they manipulate your thoughts and ideas and your thought process and your choices. It's all around bad, you guys. And they, our enemies, have implemented a lot of things on society, in order to get us hooked. Like they come with good messages or good intentions, the veil, but really it's just a Trojan to usher in their evil agendas. That's really what it is.
Okay. All right. So, guys, from what Saba just said, Zilla, I am going to come to you next. What do you guys think? I mean, do you think she has a point? Do you think that she's going too far? I mean, anybody want to agree, push back? What do you think, Ziller?
Oh, she's totally right, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
the one thing I wanted to to say was the thing that you said before she talked was when you said the thing about I forgot what you were saying. To tell you the truth, but um, you made a good point as well, and also Frankie did as well. But oh, it was the making time thing. Actually was F1 Grid and Ba as well. Um, I because of my cerebral palsy and my living situation, you know, I can't I can't drive situation blah 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 and don't need to get into that situation, but you know um I walk the driveway and all that kind of stuff, but I still have to make time to do the major stuff to make things. But that's just me, of course. But there's always things that you can do to make time to do other things to to make sure you do the important stuff. And that's all I wanted to say. There you go.
Okay. Uh, and we all need to make time, just to breathe, just to breathe, just to let that breath out. We all need to do that. Welcome, Juju. Um, okay, so Ba, are you there, Ba? If not, I'm going to go to Grid. Okay, Grid, I'm going to come to you, and then I'll go back to Ba and see if he is there. Grid.
Yeah, just go what Slava said. Quite frankly, I don't care if the people are looking into me or you know tracking me or whatever. If they want to track me sleep or anything like that, if that's what blows their hair back, then they can do it. I don't care. I'm not too worried about it.
Well, have you thought of why? Sorry.
Sorry, say it again. You were quite soft
Have you
there.
thought of why they do it?
Not really. I mean, it doesn't bother me.
Okay, all right. Now, see, Grid. Um, I think it's something that we do need to be concerned about. It's not anything that I'm consumed over, but I do think that you should take precautions when you are on the internet. And like I said, if somebody wants to get into your business, like the government or some other, whatever, they will. But I think you need to be careful. I think
Well,
we need to also tell our children to be careful.
yeah. Well, I mean, solid. I do take precautions. You know, I have been hacked before. Someone hacked into my bank account and cleaned me out. So something like that's happened to me, and I've taken precautions to make sure that doesn't happen again. But I mean, you can't control everything. You can't stop everything. So if they want to track my apps and stuff, they can track it. They want to track my activity over the web. Like Facebook, if you search in a certain item, and then they blow your social feed with all these ads and stuff. What do I do about it? But, just I don't waste too much time over it.
No, I mean, and I understand that, but about 20 years ago, my husband and I, our bank account, the one that we shared, was completely wiped out. I mean, wiped out, zero. And it caused us, thankfully we were able to go to our parents who were, able to help, whatever, but we were wiped out. And 20 years later, we're still feeling the effects of that. 20 years later, even though I'm banking with a different bank, um, I'm still getting calls saying, "Did you make this purchase, or are you trying to attempt to do this?" Whatever. It's still something where I I've had so many ATM cards replaced, because of that one thing. And I know that this is never going to go away. I know this is just something that we've just learned to live with. So you have to be careful. You have to. So,
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. This happened to us probably a couple of weeks ago. But we're fortunate enough that our bank was able to, get all our funds back because, for us as well, we myself and my partner, we share an account, a joint account, and on that account we have a savings account attached to it as well, and they literally, logged in the middle of the night while we were sleeping and just created themselves as a beneficiary and transferred all our money into like a trust, um, our savings, our everyday account, everything. And luckily enough, we caught on to it. You don't check your account every day, um, and we caught on it pretty quickly and got it sorted out. But we've taken precautions, and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
but you know what, Grit? Ever since that happened, I do check my accounts every single day. I check my accounts every single day. If I know what money I have in what account, and if I am $5 off, I am checking to see, okay, why am I off? Whatever, because it was a traumatic thing to go through, and it affected us. It affected us where, I mean, and it was stressful. And like I said, 20 years later, we are still having to, you know, just watch our backs with everything. So, but no, I get it. I get it. Some people, I mean, people approach things their own way, the way they think that is best for them. So, Mr. B, are you there?
Yes, I'm right here. Yes.
Okay, did you want to comment or push back or anything, or?
Oh no, I just want to say that yeah, you really have to be safe out there. And yeah, you can do a lot of apps, about blocking information, but I do believe some information will be still linked through. But I think some protection is better than nothing.
Okay, all right. And I see.
Also, telling our kids to be safe too as well.
Well, I also see where you said in the comments, getting paid to sleep for real, staying in bed just 1 week without getting up, your muscle mass will decrease rapidly. But you know what though, and I think that's sad because, Mr. B, when you look at it, the fact that people are actually making money, and it's not even the fact that they're making money, more power to you. You're able to make money by just having somebody watch you sleep. But what does that tell you about the people who are watching you and who are paying you to do that?
Well, NASA, I'm not sure they still do it on that, but NASA was known to have people stay in bed for a month or
But they were
two.
doing that for a reason because they're about to send people up, into outer space.
Right, but they didn't. You know how much harm it did to the person actually doing it.
I mean, right? But I'm saying, okay, but if you're doing okay because you're trying to track my sleep habits, whatever, when I get into outer space and gravity, blah 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 blah. But for someone on TikTok who is doing it and they're making money, and I'm not even going to criticize them. I'm going to criticize the people, like I said, who are actually watching these people sleep.
Right. Well, it's kind of like Fear Factor. You remember all that stuff they used to do?
Yeah, I remember Fear Factor.
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, if some people are willing to do interesting stuff, there's always be somebody to watch it. Not my cup of tea, but yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
It is. It is. It is. You know,
And
but
that's about self-care too.
okay. All right. So, Frankie, I had to scroll down to see your comment, but you said you have to be careful. I'm assuming you mean be careful. You have to be careful. So, Sab, I am going to get to you in a minute, but I just want to kind of go through some of these comments. Mike says, got to watch who you're hanging out with. Also, don't want their docile bad habits to rub off on you. You got to stay disciplined. Thank everybody for liking the show. Mafi also says the government wants to control everything worldwide. Yes, they do. Okay, bye. That's okay. We see you jump back on. Mr. B says the government should be afraid of people and people not people afraid of the government. You are right. You are right. Hello, Juju. Please remember to hit. Oh, thank you, Mr. B. Thank you. Hit the heart button. Thank you, guys. Please do and follow me on TikTok, please. I'm really trying to grow that channel. Juju says, "Grid down. That's some tough news." Okay. Oh, Juju, you said damn. I've never heard you curse before, girl. It will only be a while. Usually sleep. Boss says I was one of them, but for other reasons. That's okay. You're just on a call. Blah blah blah. Okay, so, Saba,
Yes.
you want to add, push back, not say
So
anything? Pass
have
the
to
mic.
I have to go after I say this, but I just wanted to bring something up that I don't think a lot of people think about, and I can understand why. But we are at war, you guys. We really are. We always have been. It is us against, quote unquote, them. Okay, and when we go on the internet and we agree to the terms and service without reading it, we lend out our information, we expose ourselves, and we waste our time. We develop carpal tunnel syndrome and back and neck issues, and we deteriorate, and our friends and our relationships deteriorate, our lives deteriorate. They are winning. I just want everyone to consider that while they're on the internet. And I'm so sorry, but I have to go.
That is okay.
But I'll
Thank you.
listen. I'm going to listen.
Thank you, Saba, for popping in. I appreciate you. Bye. What do you have to say? You there?
Was that me?
That's you.
Was that me?
That's you.
Oh, sorry. No, you cut out when you said the name, and I was like, "Oh, is that me?" Everyone, I agree with Sava. It's not pretty obvious. I think me and Sava are kind of on the same path. The internet, I believe, was started mainly to social engineer and to reach into our lives and the whole privacy thing. And I think certainly in our lifetime, well, in my lifetime, in the next 5, 10, 15 years, we're going to see why. A lot of this control that we're seeing with COVID and what that's brought with vaccine passports, social credit scores, even down to something so simplistic that everyone kind of agrees on. I've never heard anyone say that they haven't seen this, but if you're talking about something with a friend and then you go home that night and all of a sudden it pops up on your phone, what is that? They're listening to us. So, and I think everyone realizes that part, but you've got to ask yourself why. It's funny how we don't allow. I remember you did a show on snooping, like having someone come into your house and snooping, and I think it was a hugely. Everyone kind of agreed that it was not a good thing, but yet
Right.
we allow government to snoop, literally snoop, and that's okay because it's terms and conditions. I can't be bothered reading it. I'll just sign up to Facebook, or I got rid of WhatsApp over a year ago, because they came out and admitted that in February they were going to update WhatsApp, and from February onwards, they could now reach into your phone and take everything off it. And if you were ever in trouble with the law, they could upload your phone's database to the system, and they could look through all your conversations and all that. So I come off it, and I made the decision to just join Telegram, and I removed WhatsApp. So I'm actively like doing things like that. And some people, including my own best friends, were like, "You're crazy. You're off your head. We're not going over to Telegram." So I couldn't speak to them really, other than picking up a phone, which again, this show is kind of pushing that is better, obviously. But I just think these kind of conversations are, they're good at the time. I think everyone agrees, and then as soon as the show ends, we're just back to giving them what they want, and it sounds conspiratorial and that we're trying to scare you of what's coming, but it's not a good future if you're literally being controlled by your data. You can't do this unless you do this. Your credit score better be above a certain level. I don't know if anyone's watched Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. There's a show on there where every interaction you have with society is graded. It's a bit like, is it like there's a rating system, Uber. I think it's like Uber, when you jump into an Uber and you rate the driver when you leave. Was he polite? Was he on time? And this show, Black Mirror, shows this woman interacting with like a Starbucks assistant. So when she gets her coffee, she walks away and she has to grade them. So out of 5, she'll maybe give them a 4.5 because they didn't smile as they handed her the coffee. And then the next time that person goes to book a flight, they are told their score's too low and they need to try harder to be a better person. Now that might be extreme, but I think we are headed towards something along those lines, and probably eventually that way. So yeah.
But you make a good point. Lately I've been really paying attention to, and this is getting off topic some, but lately I've really been paying attention to the whole prepper thing. I've always made sure that I frozen food and did this and did that. I have this and I did that, but I am starting to prep more because I truly believe that there's something coming. And with the whole internet and everything, I do think, I just don't want to live in the world where you're constantly having to watch your back. I do want to, like I was saying earlier with Saba, that I don't want to have to live like that. But unfortunately, I think we are going down that road. So, and the Alpha Mike says to Ba, I agree. They are watching because there are so many ads that are just popping up, things we're just thinking about before we Google it. I'm gonna have to check out Black Mirror. But I just think it's sad that we as a society has gotten to the point where Big Brother is looking in our window, which they have been for years and years and years. People have to prep. People have to just do so many things just to survive. And I think that's sad. I think that's sad. So, Shy Lady, I am coming to you, but Bob, do you want to comment on anything that I just said? If not, I'm going to move over to Shy Lady.
Just like I was thinking of something. I don't want to go too long, but with COVID, for example, I often thought like they could literally just be vaccinating us with water, because the premise could be that they just want to get the whole population on board with allowing the government to take your rights on the basis of something else. So there's been a change in the last 2 years where some people will be okay with other people not being allowed to do things if they don't do a thing. So in this instance, it was, you can't go to a restaurant or a cafe or a gym unless you're vaccinated. And that premise right there is so wrong. And if you're on board with that, you are wrong. 100% you are wrong, I believe. And that's why I've said on the show, even if you're vaccinated and you wear a mask and you wear gloves or whatever you do, that's fine. But you still have to be on the side of freedom, because it's a very scary thought to think that in the next 5, 10, 15 years, I strongly believe that we are going that way. Like, I think China are already living that way, where it's a social credit score if you don't behave. And it'll be sold to us in a way that it will sound appealing. Like, we're not going to have gunmen shooting schools up because we'll be on a social credit score, and people will be on board with that. They'll be like, yes, let's implement it. But it might suit you for that one. But then let's say you want to go on Facebook, but you were rude to the barman because he didn't give you the drink you wanted because he thought you were too drunk, and your point comes down to a level that doesn't allow you to go on holiday with your friends next week, then it's going to be a different story. So yeah.
No, I mean, no, and you have a point, and that's why, and I know I'm going to have a trouble posting this to YouTube. I know I am, but with abortion and what have you, I'm against it, but I'm not against, I'm against abortion, but I'm not against and yes, I'm taking this down another road, y'all. And Shy Lady, I am coming to you. But when you start pushing back on, saying, oh yeah, I think there should be abortion laws and things like that, you got to remember those other laws that are coming. I mean, some people on some states have already said that they're going to ban birth control. They're going to ban, reproductive rights, meaning that my son would not be here because we had to go through in vitro, whatever. I have a problem with that. So it's like they're going to ban this and they're going to ban this and they are going to ban that. So some people can say the left. Some people can say the right. We need to be careful about everything. So with that, Shy Lady, thank you for waiting patiently. You have the mic.
No, I really didn't have a lot to say. I just wanted to say that a lot of what Bob was saying, I totally agree with him, and Alpha Mike and you as well. We have to really be careful. I'm just saying that I'm in agreement with everybody.
Okay. All right. So, Shy Lady, anything else you want to add in terms of what anybody said, what Sava said, and let me ask, and I know I'm gonna put you on the spot. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. But in terms of, do you think that you do need, like Ba and Sava were saying, mainly that the way the world is going to be in, say, 10 or 15 years, do you think that we just may possibly be in that world?
I think we're close to it.
Okay.
I think we're close to it. There's a lot going on.
Okay. All right.
I mean, can I jump in there?
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate Shy Lady for saying that. When I say these things, I know there are going to be eyes rolling and the conspiracy tinfoil hat, but when people and no, I'm not patronizing you, Shy Lady. I obviously you've done, you see it, but it makes me feel kind of when people are seeing it for themselves, because I often think I'm away in a world of my own, and a lot of people around me are not really seeing it. So it does bring a lot of hope when non-conspiracy theorists or non-tinfoil wearing hat people are seeing the same things. And it's just about spreading the message and kind of keeping people alert. And what Alpha Man saying in the chat there, like, that's why I promote homesteading, and you've brought up prepping a couple of times so far, Solid. And I never ever thought I would ever prep. I used to watch, the wife used to watch Doomsday Preppers on Netflix, and I used to laugh at these people, thinking they were crazy, thinking about a zombie apocalypse or that. But as we interviewed Tuddles last week on Friendly Differences, it makes you realize it's not just about thinking that there's going to be an end of days zombie apocalypse or a weather atrocity. It's actually just being self-sufficient and homesteading and not relying on the government. So these people during COVID, they were the ones laughing. They were the ones going, well, I don't need to rush out and fight for toilet paper. I've got 6 bags of it in the closet there. So it's it's good to hear people, seeing the same things. That's all. I just wanted to say that. So
okay, Shy Lady, you want to say anything back to what Bob just said?
No, I think he has some good points about what he's saying. Some very good points. And I do want to say that I think a lot of like when you look for things on your phone, all of a sudden you've seen ads, or when you're watching TV and you had a conversation, all of a sudden you see things that you were talking about appearing in ads. And so I was just going to say that, excuse me, a lot of things I think are geared toward these, excuse me, these companies just trying to get more money out of us as well. It's just commercials taken to a much much higher level than they used to be.
Okay. So, Shiley, let me ask this. So, do you think that, my original question was, do you have a life? Can you live without social media? Do you have a life outside of your mobile device? Do you think, like reality shows, that people will just continue to, a lot of people, I'm not going to say all, a lot of people will continue to live their life through their mobile phone as opposed to living their life outside, or just the way it used to be, when it was old school?
I I think definitely the former people are going to be really into this social media. I don't think it's ever going to be the same. I remember I don't know if you remember the movie Truman with
Yes, yes,
my
with
husband
Jim,
had been
Jim
saying for
Carrey. Yeah.
years when the movie first came out, he was like, everything is getting like that for real, and it's just amazing. But I can definitely live without it because I'm a book person. I like to read. So
Hmm.
if I don't have social media or TV, a good old fashioned book is always a good thing for me. Or just going outside and enjoying nature.
And what's funny is, people laugh at the baby uh, boomers, and we're getting old and what have you. But I'm telling y'all, you know, put some of this stuff down. Go outside. Teach your kids how to enjoy life outside. And I keep stressing outside. And I understand that in some places, you may not be able to go outside because danger, whatever. But if you guys could just spend an hour outside with your kids, I think they would like that a lot. But again, I grew up in an era where we jumped rope, we did double dutch. you know I used to do all these little tricks and stuff, and when I was jumping rope, just so many things that we did outside. And you go past, some of these parks and everything, and it's like no one's sliding down the slide. No one, I mean, everybody is in their house with these damn phones. Everyone is on social media. The parents, they're raising their kids to, it's like their kid starts crying. You give your kid the phone to shut them up. And I am proud to say that my son never had a pacifier. I never put a pacifier in his mouth. Ever. Ever. And I'm proud of that. My child started crying, whatever, we started reading, we started singing songs, whatever, and he stopped. I'm not giving, I didn't give my kid a phone to shut him up. But that's what we're coming to. This is what we're coming to. And then we wonder why we grow up, and kids are taking their phones into schools and into the classroom, and instead of listening to the teacher, they're surfing the web. And then when the teacher says something, then the parent goes up and saying, "Don't you tell my kid not to do." Well, why don't you tell them not to do that? But this is where we are as a society. What do we do? How do we get back to, I'm sorry, old school? Because as much as people want to say I'm old and I'm a baby, yeah, I am. But I see how my son turned out, and I look at some of the alternatives that are out there, and I'm going to have to brag on Shy Lady's kids, and I'm like, I'm looking at her kids, and I'm looking at some of the other kids that are coming up, and it's like, damn, what happened? So I'm going to go in the reverse. Zilla, I am going to come to you, but I want Shy Lady to comment on what I just said.
I have totally agree with you, and I'm one of those parents. I, especially being, when I was a new parent, I tried the pacifier thing, and my kids just spit it out. They were like, "No, that's not gonna work." But I have always been really blessed to have kids who are polite. We could take them to a 5-star restaurant, Michelin restaurant, whatever, and they would never ever act up. We would take them on planes when they were infants. They would never utter a word. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I just always believe that you have to teach your kids and raise them uh, with respect, wisdom, and knowledge. And that's what we never had to really spank them or anything. We just really uh, taught them the way that things should be. It was never compromising. Oh, bribes, none of that kind of stuff. And I'm just really proud of my kids, and also Solid has a wonderful son and nieces and nephews as well. And I'm just really proud. And I hope that people get it. I mean, we're older, and some people have kids that are really young, and they've been raised through this internet thing. Hopefully, you will, parents that are out there. Hopefully, they will see that there's more to life than the phones. And when we go out, even when they had phones when they were younger, it was put the phones away, we're out, we're talking, none of that kind of stuff. And even today, we try to like focus in on each other. Let's not do the phones, let's not check messages. And so you just got to purposely, intentionally do that to keep them in tune with reality.
And Charlene, I am with you, 100%. Again, Charlene and I, we've known each other for almost 35 years, and we've been friends for that long. And, I don't praise other people's children a lot. It takes me a lot to praise someone else's, children, because I see how some kids, children are not even allowed in my house. They are not, because I see how kids today are. There's no respect. They come in, they're all over the place, whatever. But with society and internet and social media and stuff, yeah, Bob, you said, yeah, I spanked my kid. Yeah, I did. But you know what? My kid never did drugs. He never, did anything bad with school. He never hung out with the wrong crowd, whatever. So yeah, I did tap that bottom, So I don't know. Social media is impacting all of us. And when I say seriously, do you have a life? I mean, do you have a life? Because smell the flowers, smell, just go out and just go outside, just do something, go make a meal, start cooking, start doing something, have another outlet besides social media, because there is so much out there. There is so much out there that we all can do other than getting on the phone or getting surfing the web. So Ziller, I know you've been waiting and you've been asking to come on. So Ziller, come on.
Well, here's I and Solid. I don't. This is where I just want to a little bit of push on this one. Not in a bad way, of course, but this is. Do you know what Mortal Kombat is, Solid?
Mm-hmm. My
I
husband plays it.
okay. Well, ever since I got you, probably 4 years old, I play it. I still play it. It, and like I told you, I had anger issues since I was a kid. But growing up, respect got into me. I had to learn it for myself. Had to learn a lot of things for myself. But as you can see, I've learned. But anyways, the thing is that I heard what you said, but the one thing I didn't hear from you is that all this century is not all bad. Um, but do you? Let me ask you, Saad. all kids bad in this millennium, or is it just certain ones?
No, 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 no,
Solid.
no. And and thank you, because I will say, because Bob gets on me for saying some, and I have to tell him he has to say some too, but just some, Ziller.
Okay. Well, that's I was like when you said millennium, I was like, does she mean all?
No, no, and
Because because I'm only 31 years old, and I was a horrible child, and you would, because I know how you are. You're very good at raising people, and you're very nice. You're a nice person, Solid, and you are. Everybody in here is nice. But if I was young again, you would never let me in your house, because I was horrible. I know I was, and that's why I was asking. I would be the like select kid that would not be in your house, because I would tear up the dang place. I'm just being honest. I was an evil child, of course, but and I appreciate a teacher teaching me how to be respectful. But thank you for clarifying that for me. Thank you.
yeah, some. So some. Yeah. Grit?
Uh, hey, Solid, sorry, I was on the phone call for quite a bit, so I missed some of the conversation.
Did you want to just add anything or whatever?
Uh, well, I'll add to say that I don't think I spend all my time on social media. I do go outdoors quite a lot. I do go exploring the beautiful surroundings New Zealand has every chance I do get with family. Um, and I try to only jump on my phone if I'm alone somewhere and I've got a bit of time during work that I can't do anything. So yeah, I try and limit myself best I can.
Okay. All right. Frankie, I've gone through the comments and I don't see where you've said anything. So I'm going to move to Ba.
No, another great show. Is this final thoughts? Is it?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I am, yeah, because this is, yeah, is getting
Yeah.
to the 2 hour mark. So, yeah.
No, I think it's been a really good topic. Obviously, from my perspective, I think I even spoke to you about it, that I needed to work on that side of my life, where I used to be a really good golfer and I kind of stopped playing when I was like 20 years of age. And it's something that I want to get back into. And instead of spending most nights on podcasts or doing podcast research or, screen time, I could be going outdoors and getting a bit of exercise at the same time. So this topic has been really good, and thank you again for having me on.
Okay. And I want to say something. Well, Ba, I do want to ask you something that Shy Lady said in the comments, but I also want to tell people that I have asked Shy Lady to go with me on a trip to Scotland. And I've been checking prices and everything because I would really like to make that happen this year. So hopefully, if it does, Bob and I will finally be able to do a show together. But having said that, the show that Bob and I do, as you guys know, we think completely. We just think differently. And it's good to, as much as sometimes he just I just want to strangle him sometimes. I'm pretty sure he wants to strangle me also. You guys, if you guys can just look forward to our show and support it, because we do talk about a lot of things. And again, I think our disagreements, and I hope I'm making sense, that our disagreements hopefully can help people see that even though we disagree, we can still talk to each other in a civil way. We can still be nice to each other, even if you don't, even if you're not nice to someone, you can at least be civil to them. Can you at least be civil? So, Bob, do you want to say anything to that? I know Bob, you want to?
No, just echo what you said. I think even tonight when we were speaking to Sava, I said about putting your message across. Everyone has their own beliefs and their own their agenda that they want to push, and I think you would receive a lot more constructive conversations and do yourself justice if you put it across in the right way. If you're going to be rude and mean to people, people just will throw you out the room or walk out the room if it's in face to face, or and that's something that I'm so glad that I've met you and all the people on in this show and on Podbean, because there's a lot of people in here that want to make a difference. And I think even if for example, what's going on just now, Roe v. Wade, the abortion issue, you could have someone that is completely against banning it and someone that's for. But if you're just going to shout at each other and call each other names and walk out the room, it's never going to get resolved. You're never going to fix it, and I think that's a huge problem in our world. So that's why we did Friendly Differences, to kind of get it out there.
So, Bob, I want to ask you what Shy Lady said. Shy Lady made a comment. A lot of it's about money. Also, a lot of these companies have taken the commercials to the next level. What do you think about that? Because I know you think something.
Oh yeah. I mean, if anyone doesn't, I believe they do that. Like, think about Alexa and how that works. Like, your phones have built-in Alexa, so if they're listening out for the word Alexa, put on Frank Sinatra, My Way, she's obviously listening all the time. So it's not just for the keyword Alexa. And I think, a huge part of it is to get money. I someone at my work said that they were looking for a battery for like a fire alarm in their house, and they were just speaking about it with their wife. And then the next day they got to work, and in between Facebook posts, here was an advert for that battery. And it was just like, wow, I wasn't even typing it into my phone. It was just spoken word, and my phone put it on my screen. So I think a huge portion is just to advertise and get our money, which, I mean, I can let that slide because it's still free will if you go and buy that. But I think there's a more nefarious reason for that as well. And if anyone's interested in that, type in Boris Johnson, who unfortunately is our Prime Minister of the UK right now. Type in Boris, and by the way, he's Conservative, so type in Boris Johnson UN speech, and it's one of the most scariest speeches that I have ever heard in my life. And I've seen a lot of crazy videos and scary videos with going down rabbit holes and conspiracies with JFK and all that, like scary stuff, really scary stuff. But that speech itself is very, very eye-opening. So if you want to go and check that out, it's on YouTube as well. So check it out, guys.
Okay. So, Shy Lady, you have your last words, and I also want to bring up something Alpha Mike said. TV, internet, cell phones, etc. We all know they are weapons against. So why do we keep using them? So can you address that, Shy Lady? You there? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Sorry. I didn't realize I had accidentally not hit unmute. But no, I was going to say that, yes, we do. Unfortunately, again, you have to be intentional. There are some people who don't own TVs. I've actually heard the Kardashians, well, I think it was Kim, who said she doesn't even own a TV. But yet you have all these millions, and I'm talking, what, hundreds of million followers? All these people ignorantly following this person. And I don't mean to, put anyone down if they are following her, but I'm like, really? It's like you're watching her life and she doesn't even own a TV. It's like she's a joke. She's rich, but we have to be intentional.
Okay, but Shy Lady, but let me ask this, because I look at the Olsen twins and the Kardashians, and even the people that Bob was talking about who are making money on TikTok because they are sleeping. I'm not mad at them. If you're
I'm
making
not either.
millions, whatever, but because I look at the people who are supporting them. So those are the people that you have to look at. I'm not mad at you if you can stand out in the middle of the street, booty butt naked, and make $1 million. More power to you. I'm looking at the people who are giving you money to stand out there with no clothes on.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people like she doesn't even own a TV. She's obviously a great businesswoman. Even if she's made her money off of her body, she's a great business person. If you look at it in terms of materialistic and money wise, she's a great business person. But I'm not mad at her because she's taken her body to ways that can generate millions of profits for her. That's her thing. And if that's how she want to make money and it's legit, more power to her. I'm in agreement with you. It's the people who are sitting there watching this stuff, and it's like, really? If you are, to me, if you're watching people like her and watching people while they sleep, I agree with your comment. We need your title. You need to get a life for real. Why don't you figure out a way to make money? If a lot of people are spending their time doing that, go volunteer. You know, if you can't make money, do something that matters. Do something that's going to help someone else. That's just me.
No, you are right. I mean, I volunteer at 2 different shelters, and I scoop up more dog poop, and I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. Somebody has to do it, and I volunteer, and that's that's one of the things that I have to do. I don't mind doing it. So
you can't put people down. You can't put people down. If that's what you want to do, and that makes you feel good, and it's a purpose. Why should anyone put you down for that?
Yeah.
Because that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I'm not trying to put people down for following her, but I'm saying do something useful that's going to benefit someone else.
Right.
Because I don't just, say this. It's something that I believe for myself.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. I totally get you. So I'm going to go through some of these comments and then we're going to Bob, I'm sorry, you want to say something?
Yeah, it was just what was getting me with scrolling through the lives on TikTok was I was looking for people to follow for our show that kind of offer something. They've got a talent or that they are giving knowledge, like they're worthy of having on the show. And I've still yet to follow someone that I feel has talent. It's all other than the ASMR, which I've got a newfound appreciation for. I think it's amazing. If you've ever listened to ASMR where they talk into the mic while they whisper and they make sounds on the mic and it tingles your brain, it's really soothing. It helps you go to sleep seemingly, but it's a talent. But the other people, like they're the ones that are sleeping, and you're right, the people who are donating money and even watching are the silly ones. But I just think it's downgrading the human being. Like, we are now, like, when I look at TikTok, I think how far we have fallen. So you have got a point that, like, how far you have got a point there with, who are the mugs, the ones watching it and paying, or the ones doing it? Because we're the mugs going to work. Like, I'm working in an industry where I'm breathing in fumes. I'm a welder, and it's back-breaking stuff, and I'll probably won't live till I'm, an old man. Yet you could jump on TikTok and get more money for doing something as meaningless as sleeping or some of the other mindless things that they're doing on there. So yeah, it's just sad.
Okay. Alpha Mike says, but what will happen if they start banning books again? Alpha, I am going to be doing a show on that next week about burning books, and yeah, they are. I mean, they are banning books. They're not burning them, but they are banning them. So Shiley says hopscotch tag. Alpha Mike says freeze tag. Yep, those are all things we played as a child. Hide and seek. Yep. Grit says, if I put my phone down, how am I supposed to like your TikTok? Oh, Grit, you have a point. You have a point. You have to like my TikTok videos. You're right. Okay. All right. That's an exception. I'll give you an exception on that one. Okay. Alpha Mike says, I like that one teacher who turned the lights off in his classroom to see how many lights from cell phones were on. I'm going to have to look up that. I did not see that. I did not see that one at all. Let's see. Run around in my home. You will trip from my foot sticking out. Okay. Shy Lady thanks Ziller and Juju. Thank you all for liking the show. There are apps out there that will get you motivated to go outside. Alpha Mike says Mortal Kombat, finish him. Alpha Mike says Grid. I have the Pokemon Go app. It definitely gets me out to walk, but at the same time, I still take in the sights. And you should. You should. Okay. The National Security Agency is a federal intelligence agency from Juju, and Juju also says NSA is responsible for global monitoring, collection of processing of information and data for foreign and domestic intelligence, counterintelligence purposes, specializing in discipline known as signals intelligence. Thank you, Ziller. Thank you for saying it's an awesome show. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Brina. Thank you, Heichel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Alpha Mike says, always great show. Love you guys. See you in a week, unless I get a moment to pop in. Have a safe travel, safe travels. Japan is one of the things that are on my bucket list. Japan and China. Grit says, unfortunately, the time frame isn't working for me for your show. Oh. Okay. The Friendly Differences show, that is. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well, Grit, we want you to come back, and you're closer to Bob's time frame than mine, but like I don't go to bed sometimes until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so I can stay up late to do a pre-recorded show. That's not a problem. We can work on that. Okay. A lot of people don't have a TV. They use their computers and iPhones. That's true. I worked in a customer service at AT&T. We handle all of California. A lot of people didn't have a TV, so we couldn't sell them the products or services. And all right. Whew. All right, guys, and we are at the mark. So thank you guys. This has been a good show. Thank you for everyone who has put in their 5 cents, $1.50. Thank you so much. Bob Ram and I, we did do a pre-recorded show with Sava before this show. It was a good show. So thank you all for listening. And on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your day or evening, wherever you are in the world, and go where the wind takes you. I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you for everyone who has come on the panel, and thank you for everyone in the chat. Let's see, Grid, Shep, Juju, Baram, Brina, Ninja, Bunny, Heiko, Power Girl, Frankie. We have Mr. B, Alpha Mike, Mafioso, Heiko, Shy Lady. Am I forgetting anyone? I know I am. Who am I forgetting? See you, Heiko. Thank you, Shep, for giving me some love. I appreciate you. And y'all, if you can follow me on TikTok and follow Friendly Differences, we're trying to get that up and running. And we are going to start doing some shows. Friendly Differences is going to start doing some shows on Podbean, but we're all the way at the bottom, so y'all gonna have to search for us when we go live. Okay, everyone. See you later. Enjoy the rest of Crazy Lady. Crazy Lady, what do you want to say? Because we are ending it. Oh, she's not coming on. Well, Crazy Lady, thanks for popping in. Enjoy the rest of your day, y'all. Bye.